What's going on, guys? My name is Aldeniro and welcome to episode 75 of my Leicester City career mode. What an amazing number to have reached. Anyways, we're starting this episode off with a game at Turf Moor against Burnley, and as you can see, they are in a very lowly league position with just 21 points from 32 games. It looks as though they're definitely going down this season, but I was not looking forward to this game because our previous game against Burnley at the King Power Stadium resulted in a 2-2 draw, which didn't really favour us, obviously. Like, I don't know what it is about FIFA, and I'm sure a lot of you guys feel the same way, but playing against the lower league teams, or sorry, the lower half teams in the league is a lot more difficult than playing against the bigger teams. I don't know what it is. I always say that I struggle against certain teams, and they're always the lower teams that I tend to do badly against. I mean, obviously I struggle against Man City and Chelsea because they're really good, but I've got a pretty good record against Man United. I have an amazing record against Liverpool. We've kind of evolved into a club capable of beating Arsenal and those teams, but for some reason Burnley just, I don't know what it is, but Barnes scores in the 15th minute for Burnley, sort of setting the scene for this game really, and this is exactly what I was anticipating. But in the 17th minute, Villalba plays the ball into Dwight Gale, who has a lot of work to do from here with 3 defenders around him, but he does incredibly well to get into a position where he can easily tap the ball into the back of the net and equalise for us just 3 minutes after going behind. And that is really the perfect response to going behind in a game like this. This is obviously a game that you want to win because it should be the easy game. On paper, these are the easy fixtures, but in reality they're the difficult ones. And in the 19th minute, the ball comes to George Boyd in the 22nd minute, sorry, and his shot is saved by Kasper Schmeichel. I don't know, it is George Boyd, I'm sure it's George Boyd because he's got long hair and George Boyd has long hair. We come up to the 37th minute of this game with Hector Villalba peeling away from Dean Marney in defence, and his shot is saved by the keeper. Unfortunately, no rebound for anybody to tap in or anything like that, so we stay level at this point, and we come up to the 40th minute of the game with David Jones getting into a really good position before his shot is saved by Kasper Schmeichel, but it could have caused a lot more difficulty than it did. Then in stoppage time at the end of the first half, Djuktovic on the ball plays it into Dean Marney, who has a look up and he finds Dave Jones, who plays it back to Djuktovic, whose name is so annoying, but his shot goes just wide. And in the 48th minute, Burnley continued with their spell of dominance and brought it into the second half with Jones finding Ward as he plays it into George Boyd, who finds the back of the net from a tight angle in a really good position where he was completely unmarked, and they just split our defence open with a very, very basic passing move at that point. Then 3 minutes later, we came on the offensive immediately after, the same way that we did with Dwight Gale really in the first half. This time it was through Origi and his shot was saved by the keeper, but 7 minutes later we would get another bite of the cherry, if that's a saying, bite of the cherry apple, what is it? I don't know. Villalba comes into the box in the 60th minute and his shot gets palmed onto the crossbar by the goalkeeper, and amazingly Burnley hang on. That really should have been a goal because it was calamitous defending from them, and it just happened to be shambolic attacking from us at the same time. But in the 66th minute, Dwight Gale plays the ball into Villalba, his shot is saved, and Origi heads it in off the underside of the crossbar, and we get that equaliser. And from here we were able to press on in the game to try and get that winner with Maicon Leite coming onto the pitch in the 79th minute. His shot goes just wide of the target, and a few minutes later we get another chance as we enter the final 5 minutes of the game with Maicon Leite on the ball once more. This time from the edge of the area he tries, and his shot is saved by the keeper and cleared by the Burnley defence. Burnley hang on for a point, and that is seriously damaging to our title ambitions. And I'll show you the league table right now. Here's how it looks. Obviously Chelsea 6 points clear, but they do have 1 game played over us, so if we win our game in hand we'll be just 3 points behind. However, goal difference does not favour us. It is not doing us any favours, and it looks as though we're headed for a 2nd place finish. However, Chelsea still have to play Southampton away, they still have to play Tottenham, they still have to play Liverpool, and they still have to play Manchester City. So I'm cautiously optimistic. I like, for some reason I just think that there's something in FIFA that makes the game script itself in your favour. I don't know what it is, but it happened with Arsenal in the 2nd season that we had, and I have a feeling that Chelsea are just going to slip up once or twice more, which will enable us to do well as long as we go on some kind of monster run between now and the end of the season, because we still have to play Man United as well, and we still have to play Arsenal, so we'll see how it works out for us. But our next game is against Ajax. This is the semi-final of the Europa League, and at the Amsterdam Arena, Hector Villalba takes just 6 minutes before burying his chance into the back of the net to give us an away goal so early on in the tie, which was so good for us because it meant that we could afford to just sit back a little bit and not put all of our energy into making it to the final immediately, because even though we have the away goal, we have the home tie as well, which we should dominate against Ajax too. But Zivkovic had a shot in the 18th minute, which was saved by Jack Butland. I think it's Butland in goal. It might actually be Schmeichel. But Brandt plays an amazing ball into Villalba in the 21st minute, and sadly his shot strikes the frame of the goal before being cleared by the Ajax defence. And Zivkovic comes forward in the 24th minute and gets on the receiving end of a really good pass, and his shot goes just wide of Kasper Schmeichel's post. Then in the 31st minute, Julian Brandt comes forward down the left hand side of the pitch. He does a nice Ronaldo chop to get round Van Rijn in defence, and then gets into the box before seeing his shot saved. Villalba knocks the rebound into the back of the net, but the linesman had his flag up. It was more so there to include that Brandt effort because it was a good shot from him, I thought. Then in the 41st minute, Exeberia got into a really good chance and saw his shot hit off the post, and we were hanging on, but we did have the away goal. The second half kicked off with Ajax looking to recuperate, but the ball comes to Hector Villalba and the defence is nowhere to be seen. Villalba stealing the ball and finishing into the back of the net just 1 minute into the second half as he doubles his tally and doubles our tally and makes it 2 away goals for us in Amsterdam, which you can't really ask for much better than. Then Dwight Gale gets on the receiving end of a good pass just 3 minutes after we went 2-0 up, and Gale's shot was saved. I was trying to finesse it with his right foot into the right hand side of the net, but for some reason this game is just stupid sometimes. In the 57th minute, the ball comes to Fischer, who does really well to get round the defence. His pass finds, I think it was Koyate in there, oh no, it was Rohan Ince, sorry, and then the ball comes out to Bozer, who plays it into Klassen, who goes very close with his shot, but it went wide of Kasper Schmeichel's post. Then 5 minutes later, Klassen would get another chance, starting with Fischer and Van Rijn on the right hand side of the pitch. Serrero plays the ball into Klassen in a great position, but this time his shot was palmed away by the keeper and cleared by Boyata in defence. In the 67th minute, Ajax came forward once more with Boylessen on the left hand side of the pitch. His cross finds Zivkovic in the box after a really bad piece of defensive play from us, and Zivkovic does manage to get the finish and make it 2-1. But it didn't really matter for us. The game ended after that point because we decided to take the sting out of the game. Like, I didn't pass it around my defence or anything, but we didn't create any highlight-worthy moments. And then after that game ends, we get a really good victory. Kasper Schmeichel comes to me and says that he's unsettled and he wants to go home. Like, I'm not an expert on Kasper Schmeichel's life, and I wouldn't dream of handing out life advice or, you know, trying to understand his circumstances, but I'm pretty fucking sure that he's lived in England for most of his life. So I find that very odd, but that's just FIFA. That's where FIFA will never catch Football Manager, is that Football Manager has a very in-depth database that has a much stronger analysis of a player's past and their future and their career and, you know, their likes and dislikes and stuff like that, so it can avoid stupid stuff like that happening a lot better than this game can. But sadly Schmeichel wants to leave, which does kind of play into our hands a little bit as well, because even if he does leave, we're going to get good money for him, and we have Jack Butland waiting in the wings to is that a saying, waiting in the wings? Why am I saying sayings that I don't know are actually sayings? Our next game is against Aston Villa, and it's at the King Power Stadium, and as you can see from the fact that the first highlight of this game is in the 40th minute, this was an incredibly tense game. Obviously we needed a victory here if we're going to go on this title push, and Villalba goes very close in the 41st minute, but the goalkeeper did manage to hold on to the ball, and then Villa come forward inside stoppage time at the end of the first half with Weimann having a really good effort, saved well by Kasper Schmeichel before it could go in. Then we come to the 70th minute of the game, and again just another kind of non-highlight worthy moment, but I thought that was a really nicely worked free kick, and if Schlupp had actually hit that first time like I'd instructed him to, we would be 1-0 up at that point. But as a result of the fallout from that free kick, Schlupp got another shot on goal, which was blocked away by Ron Vlara, or sorry, it was Chris Hurd, and it went out for a corner kick, which would be swung outwards by Tom Ince, and he has a look up inside the box. It comes into Corker, who gives us the lead in the 73rd minute, and the stadium goes mental because it's the goal that everybody was waiting for. The whole stadium holding their breath up until that point. Amazingly, they didn't die after holding their breath for 73 minutes, but that's the world that we live in FIFA. And Villa came forward 5 minutes after going a goal behind, with Weimann crossing it into Benteke, whose header actually shaved the post before going out of play, so that was a really close chance. And then we come up to the final 5 minutes of the game with the ball being crossed into Gabiag Bonlahor, and he should have done an awful lot better with that header. It was some terrible defending from us as well to leave him unmarked, but we did hold on to get 3 points against Aston Villa, which I think is a fantastic result because they did the double over us last season, and this time we've done the double over them. But as you can see from around the grounds, Chelsea did pick up a 1-0 victory away in Cardiff, which is quite frustrating for us. And a lot of people were telling me to sign Garbutt because he's glitched, so I took the liberty of scouting him just to see how true that was, because we already made a mistake of signing Luke Daniels thinking that he was glitched. But look at this, he's overall is 68. He's not very good at all, and there's no way that he's a highly rated player. Like, he just happened to score a really good goal against me that time, and he happens to be in the first team of the Everton squad ahead of Aidan McGeady for whatever reason. But sadly, he's not a glitched player, so we won't be going in for him. Our next game is going to be against Ajax, and that'll be in the next episode. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, please do leave a like. It would be much appreciated. I've been Elden Hero. Thanks for watching.